Welcome.
Wednesday's Night Out.
Night's Digest. Awaken the giant within. How to take immediate control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial destiny by Anthony Robbins. March 6, 2026. And I am Joseph, your host. Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. Awaken the giant within. How to take immediate control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial destiny by Anthony Robbins. ISBN 0671 727 346. Part 1. Unleash your power. Dreams of destiny. A consistent man believes in destiny. A capricious man in chance. Benjamin Disraeli. My life's quests have been to restore the dream and to make it real. To get each of us to remember and use the unlimited power that lies sleeping within us all. Controlled focus is like a laser beam that can cut through anything that seems to be stopping you. As a world community, these are the changes that we all must make to preserve the quality of life around the globe. Step 1. Raise your standards. Step 2. Change your limiting beliefs. Step 3. Change your strategy. Let's begin our journey by exploring. Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. 171211. Part 1. Unleash your power. Second chapter. Decisions. The pathway to power. Man is born to live and not to prepare to live. Boris Pasternak. Every direction leads to an ultimate destination, or destiny. What is the father of action? The power of decision. If you don't set a baseline standard for what you'll accept in your life, you'll find it's easy to slip into behaviors and attitudes or a quality of life that's far below what you deserve. Using the power of decision gives you the capacity to get past any excuse to change any and every part of your life in an instant. If you truly decide to, you can do almost anything. Decisions act as the source of both problems and incredible joys and opportunities. The most exciting thing about this force, this power, is that you already possess it. 1. Decide what you want. 2. Take action. 3rd, notice what's working or not. And 4th, change your approach until you achieve what you want. It is in your moments of decisions that your destiny is shaped. Anthony Robbins. The 3 decisions that control your destiny are: 2. Second, your decisions about what to do to create the results you desire. We will either find a way or make one. Hannibal, God's delays are not God's denials. Harness the power of decision. First, remember the true power of making decisions. Second, realize that the hardest step in achieving anything is making a true commitment, a true decision. Third, make decisions often. Fourth, learn from your decisions. Fifth, stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. Sixth, enjoy making decisions. Wednesday, March 4th, 2026, 090803. Part 1, Unleash Your Power. Chapter 3, The Force That Shapes Your Life. Men live by intervals of season under the sovereignty of humor and passion. Sir Thomas Browne. Everything you and I do, we do either out of the need to avoid pain or our desire to gain pleasure. What prevents you from doing whatever it takes to make your life exactly as you've imagined it? The most important lesson we learn in life is what creates pain for us and what creates pleasure. While it may be a stretch for most of us to liken the sublime humility of Mother Teresa to the materialism of Donald Trump, it's critical to remember that these two individuals shape their destinies based upon what they link pain and pleasure to. What you link pain to and what you link pleasure to shapes your destiny. Privileged to lead. If you don't have a plan for your life, someone else does. Thursday, March 5th, 2026, 085943. Part 1, Unleash Your Power. 4. Belief systems. The power to create and the power to destroy. Under all that we think lives all we believe, like the ultimate veil of our spirits. Antonio Machado. It's not the events of our lives that shape us, but our beliefs as to what those events mean. Belief is a feeling of certainty. A simple way of understanding a belief is to think about its basic building block, an idea. The question is, which one of these beliefs is the true belief? The answer is that it doesn't matter which one is true. What matters is which one is most empowering. You are sexy. The belief that becomes true for me is that which allows me the best use of my strength, the best means of putting my virtues into action. Andre Gide. The past doesn't equal the future. How we deal with adversity and challenges will shape our lives more than almost anything else. New experiences trigger change only if they cause us to question our beliefs. Convictions, by the passion they inspire in us, there's always a way to turn things around if I'm committed. Tuesday, March 10, 2026, 082214. Part 1, Unleash Your Giant. Chapter 5, can change happen in an instant? Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. Corinthians 15:51. A better metaphor for long-term change is conditioning. When we take control of our neural associations, we take control of our lives. The first belief we must have if we're going to create change quickly is that we can change now. You and I both know that when people finally do change, they do it in a moment, don't they? Usually it's the getting ready to change that takes people time. The second belief that you and I must have if we're going to create long-term change is that we're responsible for our own charge, our own change. First, we must believe something must change. Second, we must not only believe that things must change, but we must believe I must change it. Third, we have to believe I can change it. Anytime you experience significant moments of pain or pleasure, your brain immediately searches for the chase. First, your brain looks for something that appears to be unique. Second, your brain looks for something that seems to be happening simultaneously. Third, your brain looks for consistency. Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, 084009. Part 1. Unleash Your Power. Chapter 6. How to change anything in your life. The science of neuroassociative conditioning. The beginning of a habit is like an invisible thread, but every time we repeat the act, we strengthen the strand, and to it another filament, until it becomes a great table and binds us irrevocably. Thought and act. Orson Swett Marden. These set steps of NAC will show you how to create a direct highway out of pain and into pleasure with no disempowering detours. MAC Master Step 1. Decide what you really want and what's preventing you from having it now. NAC Master Step 2. Get leverage. Associate massive pain to not changing now and massive pleasure to the experience of changing now. NAC Master Step 3. Interrupt the limiting pattern. NAC Master Step 4. Create a new empowering alternative. NAC Master Step 5. Condition the new pattern until it's assisted. Consistent. NAC Master Step 6. Test it. Thursday, March 12, 2026, 092720. Part 1. Unleash Your Power. 7. How to get what you really want. All emotions are pure, which gather you and lift you up. That emotion is impure, which seizes only one side of your being and so distorts you. Rainer Maria Rilke. Give me my first attack, Elvis Presley. The key to success, then, is to create patterns of movement that create confidence, a sense of strength, flexibility, a sense of personal power, and fun. To paraphrase Ralph Waldo Emerson, each of us sees in others what we carry in our own hearts. Focus on where you want to go, not on what you fear. Our ability to change our submobilities. You've got to be in a determined state in order to succeed. Tuesday, March 17, 2026, 084029. Part 1. Unleash your power. 8. Chapter 8. Questions are the answer. He who asks questions cannot avoid the answers. Cameroon proverb. Our questions determine our thoughts. Superior evaluations create a superior life. Learning to ask empowering questions in moments of crisis is a critical skill. Give the gifts of questions. Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, 080445. Part 1. Unleash your power. Chapter 9. The vocabulary of ultimate success. A powerful agent is the right word. Whenever we come upon one of those intensely right words, the resulting effect is physical as well as spiritual and electrically prompt. Mark Twain. With words we can make our noblest intentions felt and our deepest desires known, and from our actions flow the results of our lives. Words from the thread in which we string our experiences. Aldous Huxley. The words you consistently select will shape your destiny. Thursday, March 19, 2026, 080914. Part 1. Unleash your power. Chapter 10. Destroy the blocks. Break down the wall. Let go of the rope and dance your way to success. The power of life metaphors. The metaphor is perhaps one of man's most fruitful potentialities. Its efficiency verges on magic, and it seems a tool for creation which God forgot inside one of his creatures when he made him. Jose Ortega Y. Gasset. Whenever we explain or communicate a concept by likening it to something else, we are using a metaphor. A whole set of rules, ideas, and preconceived notions accompany any metaphor you adopt. Changing one global metaphor can instantly transform the way you look at your entire life. A metaphor could save your life. Monday, March 23rd, 2026, 183506. Part 1. Unleash your power. Chapter 11. The 10 emotions of power. There can be no transforming of darkness until light, and of empathy into movement without emotion. Carl Jung. I believe there are four ways in which people deal with emotion: avoidance, denial, competition, learning, and using. You are the source of all your emotions. You are the one who creates them. Acknowledge and appreciate your emotions, knowing they support you. There are 10 action signals: discomfort, fear, hurt, anger, frustration, disappointment, guilt, inadequacy, overload or overwhelm, loneliness. There are 10 emotions of power: love and warmth, appreciation and gratitude, curiosity, excitement, and passion, determination, flexibility, confidence, cheerfulness, vitality, contribution. Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, 095420, 142808. Part 1. Unleash Your Power. Chapter 12. The Magnificent Obsession Creating a Compelling Future. Nothing happens unless a dream. Carl Sandburg. Giant goals produce giant motivation. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. The foundation for all success in life is it's not just getting a goal that matters, but the quality of life you experience along the way. Climb high, climb far. Your goal the sky, your aim the star. Inscription at Williams College. What specific action could I take today that would lead me on that road to the destiny of my choice? But the most important thing you can do to achieve your goals is to make sure that as soon as you set goals, you immediately begin to create momentum. Thursday, March 26, 2026, 092030. Part 1. Unleash Your Power. Chapter 13. The 10-day mental challenge. Habit is either the best of servants or the worst of matters. Nathaniel Emmons. The mark of a champion is consistency, and true consistency is established by our habits. Yet, using some of the simplest tools in this book, you could change your worried state immediately by focusing on a solution. Leaders are readers. Tuesday, March 31st, 2026, 092129. Part 2. Take Control, the Master System. Chapter 14. Ultimate Influence, your Master System. Elementary, my dear. Elementary, my dear. Watson. With apologies to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Wealth is the result of effective evaluation. The values you select will shape every decision you make in your life. I am the source of all my emotions. Nothing and no one can change how I feel except me. If I find myself in reaction to anything, I can change it in a moment. Wednesday, April 1st, 2026, 085804. Part 2. Taking Control, the Master System. Chapter 15. Life Values, your personal compass. Nothing splendid has ever been achieved except by those who dared believe that something inside of them was superior to circumstance. Bruce Barton. When you know what's most important to you, making a decision is simple. In order to be truly happy, we must know the difference and be sure to pursue the end itself. Means value, ends value. Remember, we truly can design who we become. Thursday, April 2nd, 2026, 090138. Part 2, Taking Control, the Master System. Chapter 16, Rules. If you're not happy, here's why. Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anybody else expects of you. Henry Ward Beecher. It doesn't take very much light to wipe out the darkness. Hawaii, 2017, total eclipse. We were going to enjoy this event no matter what happened. To adopt this rule is to raise your standards. It means you'll hold yourself to a higher standard of enjoying yourself despite the conditions of the moment. There were some in the audience when began voicing complaints. Then a little girl spoke. But Mom, it's happening right now. Those that began complaining had an idea of how the event experience should go. Whether or not you feel like you're achieving your values is totally dependent upon your rules. What all determines our emotions and behaviors is our beliefs about what is good and what is bad. What we should do and what we must do. These precise standards and criteria are what I've labeled rules. How do you know you're a great lover? The predicament of not feeling the emotions we deserve is not limited to relationships or lovemaking. Are the rules that guide your life today still appropriate for who you've become? How do we know if a rule empowers or disempowers us? Make it easy to feel good and hard to feel bad. Friday, April 3rd, 2026, 102604. Part 2, Taking Control, the Master System. Chapter 17, references the fabric of life. Man's mind stretched to a new idea never goes back to its original dimensions. Oliver Wendell Holmes. The larger the number and greater the quality of our references, the greater our potential level of choices. A larger number of greater quality of references enables us to more effectively evaluate what things mean and what we can do. One important measure of a person's intelligence is the way in which they use their fabric of references. How do you use your references? Do you consciously interpret them in ways that empower you, in ways that support the achievement of your goals? One of the finest beliefs I developed years ago that helped me to enjoy all of my experience was the idea that there are no bad experiences, that no matter what I go through in life, whether it's a challenging experience or a pleasurable one, every experience provides me something of value if I look for it. Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, 084750. Part 2, Taking Control, the Master System. Chapter 18, Identity, the Key to Expansion. Nothing good will ever be achieved without great men, and men are great only if they are determined to build. Charles D. Gaulle. One of the strong forces in the human organism is the need for consistency. As we develop new beliefs about who we are, our behavior will change to support the new identity. One shift in identity can cause a shift of your entire master system. Wednesday, April 8th, 2026, 085517. Part 3, The 7 Days to Shape Your Life. Chapter 19, Emotional Destiny, the Only True Success. Day 1, Your Outcome. Take control of your consistent emotions and begin to consciously and deliberately reshape your daily experience of life. Seeing's believing, but feeling's the truth. Thomas Fuller, M.D. Wednesday, April 8, 2026, 093356. Part 3, The 7 Days to Shape Your Life. Chapter 20, Physical Destiny, Prison of Pain or Palace of Pleasure. Day 2, Your Outcome. Just as you've learned to condition your nervous system to produce the behaviors that will give the results you want, the physical destiny you experience depends on how you condition your metabolism and muscles to produce the fuels of energy and fitness you desire. The way is to train your metabolism to consistently operate in aerobic fashion. Probably the most important element to one's health is oxygen. Research has shown that if you exercise consistently for over a 12-month period of time, you will form this positive addiction for a lifetime. Wednesday, April 8th, 2026, 110208. Part 3, The 7 Days to Shape Your Life. Chapter 21, Relationship Destiny, the Place to Share and Care. Day 3, Your Outcome. Measurably enhance your personal relationships and deepen your emotional connection with the people you care about most by receiving the 6 fundamentals of successful relationships. Make your relationships one of the highest priorities in your life. Thursday, April 9, 2026, 095939. Part 3, The 7 Days to Shape Your Life. Chapter 22, Financial Destiny, Small Steps to a Small or Large Fortune. Day 4, Your Outcome. Take control of your financial future by learning the five foundational elements for establishing wealth. True wealth, Paul says, comes from the ability to practice what he calls economic alchemy, which is the ability to take something that has very little value and convert it into something of significantly greater value. Thursday, April 9, 2026, 143307. Part 3, The 7 Days to Shape Your Life. Chapter 23, Be Impeccable, Your Code of Conduct. Day 5, Your Outcome. Is it possible to have great values, to have all your rules aligned to support them, to be asking yourself the right questions and not to be living your values in the moment. In the moment, if you're being honest with yourself, you know that answer is yes. All of us at one time or another have let events control us instead of controlling our states or our decisions as to what those events mean. We need a clear-cut way to ensure that we consistently live the values to which we've committed ourselves, and a way of measuring whether or not we're actually achieving that value on a daily basis. Go put your creed into your deed. Ralph Waldo Emerson. You can preach a better sermon with your life than with your lips. Oliver Goldsmith. There is a tremendous pride that comes with holding yourself to a higher standard and knowing that each day you alone will determine how you feel, that you will conduct yourself only at the highest level. Thursday, April 9, 2026, 151756. Part 3, The 7 Days to Shape Your Life. Chapter 24, Master Your Time and Your Life. Day 6, Your Outcome. Learn how to use time to your advantage rather than allowing it to rule your levels of satisfaction and stress. So often we forget that time is a mental construct, that it is completely relative, and that our experience of time is almost exclusively the result of our mental focus. Our beliefs also filter our perception of time. We have time enough if we will but use it aright. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Thursday, April 9, 2026, 165210. Part 3, The 7 Days to Shape Your Life. Chapter 25, Rest and Play. Even God took one day off. Day 7, Your Outcome. Achieve some balance. The great man is he that does not lose his child's heart. Mencius. Thursday, April 9, 2026, 171755. Part 4, A Lesson in Destiny. Chapter 26, The Ultimate Challenge. What one person can do. A mighty flame follows a tiny spark. Dante. How do I define a hero? A hero is a person who courageously contributes under even the most trying circumstances. A hero is an individual who acts unselfishly and who demands more from himself or herself than others would expect. A hero is a man or woman who defies adversity by doing what he or she believes is right, in spite of fear. You can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. John Wooden. A small amount of time can make a big difference. Only those who have learned the power of sincere and selfless contribution experience life's deepest joys through fulfillment. Anthony Robbins. Joseph speaks. This book is full of great direction and exercises getting one engaged in achievement. I also view it as in-depth. Job well done, Anthony Robbins. Monday, April 13, 2026, 233113. Awaken the giant within. How to take immediate control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial destiny. Anthony Robbins. Turnpike Plaza, 365, Rec Squad.